What's good, y'all? So, if you didn't already know, I'm filming a bunch of reading vlog videos so I can dwindle down this large TBR behind me. Everything from this shelf, everything over here, it's all part of my TBR. But I also have a non-physical TBR of just authors that I want to read from. In particular, I have a bunch of Black indie authors that I want to read from. I've collected names over the years. I think I got a list of about like 30 Black indie authors, but there's so many more than that. So if you have any Black indie authors that I should be reading from, comment them down below. But I have made this cute little jar with a bunch of little pieces of paper in them. And once in a while, we're going to stick our hand in the jar, we're going to pick an author, and we're going to read their backlist, because these indie authors have like so many series and so many books out, and I want to get into all of them. I want to get into the backlog of every indie author, of every Black indie author there is. But before we ever get into it, I've already filmed one. I've already filmed a video for a Black indie author. Well, she's kind of indie, and it is Talia Hibbert. I recorded this months ago, never edited it, never uploaded it, but now it's edited and it's going to be uploaded as the first reading vlog for Black History Month. So enjoy that. Hey, how y'all doing? Today we're gonna do a reading vlog because I promised I was gonna do reading vlogs. So that's what this is. Look at me committing. Hopefully this one less. But yes, today we are doing a reading vlog. I wanted to do a series of reading vlogs based on very popular books in the book community that I just never read before. Because again, I was on a very long reading hiatus for X amount of years. It was 5 years. High school was a rough time. I hated AP English. But yeah, I was in such a long reading hiatus. There's a lot of popular books that I just never read or touched. So that's what this whole series is going to be. If you have book suggestions, again, leave them in the comments below. But let's get started. Today we're doing a reading vlog for The Brown Sisters Trilogy by Talia Hibbert. Now, I have never read Talia Hibbert before. Actually, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. I did read one of her Christmas novellas. Talia Hibbert put out a Christmas novella, and last year around Christmas time, I read that. But outside of that, I've never read Talia Hibbert's work. But I know that this is Talia's most popular body of work that everyone talks about. So that's what we're reading today. I've had these books for months, and I just been putting it off. But this is what we're reading for this reading vlog. Now, I am not well versed in the Talia Hibbert universe or Talia Hibbert's writing style, but this would be a fun video to make, just to dive in and really see if I'm a Talia Hibbert girly based off of just scrolling through TikTok and being in the bookish community for just a little while, an itty bit. I do recognize that Danny and Eve are people's favorites. A lot of people really enjoy Danny and Eve. And maybe that's just for the case of the first book in a series is always not going to be the majority favorite amongst people. Like, you know, bodies of work get better over time, so I feel like that's what happens with this trilogy, with like a lot of book series. But I am excited to read these, just so I could see what everybody's talking about, because FOMO's real, and it's harsh, and it's about time that I read these books. I think I bought these back in April, and I just never touched them, but now is a perfect time, now is a perfect excuse. Now, I know nothing about Chloe. I do remember Danny being bi. Danny is bisexual. And I know nothing about Eve. But I'm really excited to dive into these and understand why everybody likes them so much. So let's get into it. Okay, day one, part one of this reading vlog. We are starting off with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Do I remember hearing much about this book? No, only because obviously, this is a very popular book series, especially with fans of Talia Hibbert, but when it's usually like a book that I just never read before. I don't really register when people talk about it. I kind of just like and scroll. But I do remember there being a time where a lot of people, well, not a lot, but like mutuals of mine had voiced their disdain for this book in particular. I think the favorite amongst the three is heavily either Danny or Eve overall. But yeah, I have seen people talk about how much they didn't like this book. Not so much that they hate it, just like there were aspects of this book they didn't like, so it's not their favorite of the three. So we're gonna find out what that is today, but I am excited to read it. We're gonna get into it. Just right out the gate, Miss Chloe, you seem a bit dramatic, baby. You seem a bit dramatic, baby girl. I mean, why you so mean to Mrs. Superintendent? Why you so mean to everybody? I know you struggling. That she going through a lot right now. But like, baby, come on. You gotta be so mean with it. Like, what do we... Like, who shat in your cereal? Like, what are we doing? Like, I understand why Red's annoyed. He thinks you hate his ass. But we proceed. Hello. About to, go live on the clock app because, I'm bored and I want someone to talk to. Will I read the whole time on that live? Probably not, you know. But, we'll see what happens. Maybe my friends will join. If they don't join, they don't love me. So... we're gonna see how that goes. So, you know, yesterday, started reading, then I found out these chapters. Why are they so long? And I'm not, like, I'm the type of person that if a chapter is longer than, like, 6 pages, this could have been 2 chapters. We didn't need to, no, but the chapters are long. But it is a quick read to get through each chapter, so I appreciate that. But yesterday, went on live to do, like, a little reading sprint, went on live on TikTok, didn't read a single thing. I added, like, 6 of my friends in there, and all we do is talk. So, we're gonna try again. And I'm gonna read this time, because I'm gonna have no distractions. Phone off, TV off, just music playing in the background, you know? You know? I'm on chapter 20. There are 4 more chapters left and an epilogue. No third act breakup yet. No conflict. It's a bit suspicious. But you know what? I gotta get this over with. I gotta get it over with. The chapters. Way too long. Don't know why we do that. Authors, note for all of you. 20-page chapters, they're not necessary. Not needed. Not at all. No thank you. I don't know why you keep doing that. It's weird. My third act breakup predictions. One of them, obviously, is gonna misunderstand the other. Chloe is a very blunt and abrupt and impatient and sometimes harsh person. And she could say something very offensive to Red. Red could say something to her that she will take as offense. Or a big key one, one of her little get a life goals was to have meaningless schmecks, and he's gonna see that, and he's gonna be upset. It'll most likely be the third one. I was close. I was close. And then they changed it up on me. And you know, I figured Red would be more emotionally intelligent than that. He was at the beginning. What happened? What happened? Anyway, I'm gonna finish the rest of this, which is a little bit of this. I'm gonna go to bed. And then tomorrow, Danny Brown. Tomorrow will be Danny Brown. Okay, today we're starting off Danny Brown. Again, these long chapters are going to be the end of me, because why in a contemporary romance is this chapter 30 pages? We did that for what? This one, final thoughts, is alright, but I will say the third act breakup is dumb. I thought it would go a different way because of Chloe's personality, but I do think overall it was like very abrupt, dumb, because again, I don't like when third act breakups are in the last 10% of a book. There were like 3 chapters left and then they broke up. Why? Not every romance book needs a third act breakup. The best ones don't have it, in my opinion. But yeah, since we're done with that, I might go outside to read this one. Let's see how long that lasts until a bug bothers me. Okay, I got into about 6 chapters of Take a Hit, Danny Brown. Bugs did come at me about 5 or 6 times. I'm about to probably go on live on TikTok and do like a reading sprint. Will my friends pop up and then we're just gonna talk the whole time? Probably. I like it so far. I like Danny. I think you can clearly tell, like in Chloe Brown, Danny and Eve are like the more fun sisters. You know, the younger you get, the more fun they get. I do like Danny. I knew she was the bi sister, and I love that. Yes, bisexual representation. I love her. I think, like, so far, obviously, I've only read 2, but she's my favorite. Most of my friends are telling me that, oh, no, I actually like Chloe Brown. That's not what y'all was saying a few months ago. Y'all was making think pieces about how much you do not like this book in the overall trilogy. But we move. Okay, so finished Danny Brown in like a day. Love this book. Love this girl. Love Zafir. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with her. I finished this book so quickly, despite hating long chapters and drawn out exposition of characters just babbling in their heads. But I love this, and I loved her. It seems like with every sister you read, they just become less uptight, because Chloe is very high-strung. Danny is very responsible, but she's also very free-spirited. So I feel like when we get to Eve, pure chaos. Just pure, full-on, chaotic. And I'm excited for that. I do love how Talia Hibbert writes banter between characters. It makes me laugh. It makes me giggle. Like, rom-com is Talia's wheelhouse, because these are so fun to read and I actually laugh. Like, you ever catch yourself actually laughing at a book? That's me. So today, we are moving on to Miss Eve Brown. One thing that I do remember about this book is that he has autism. He is on the autism spectrum. He is autistic. And I don't really hear much else about this book other than people just loving Eve. They just live for Eve. So, we're gonna get into this today. Based on the back alone, it's already giving chaos. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I couldn't do it. Every bug that flew by me today. So we're taking the reading vlog inside. We're moving it inside because I can't deal today. I just can't do it. But I did get a good start. I did dip my toes in and I'm having so much fun. Ooh, Eve. Eve is my kind of chaos. She's my kind of chaos. She really just walks into places like she owns the world, and she does. She does own the world. Jacob's just he's really stressed out. He's really high-strung. There's a lot going on in his head, and he needs the chaos to balance it out, and that's what Eve is here to do. Eve is here to bring balance to his life, and he should be more grateful. Sure, his arm is broken. It'll heal. You'll be fine. She's got this under control. And I relate to Eve so much because I also don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what I want to do in life. And I've heard other people talk about this where they can't pick one thing. There's so many things that they would want to do, but because of the way society is set up, you only get to pick the one thing and you do the one thing forever. And not everybody is built like that. Not everybody can only stick to just the one thing, and they want to do a plethora of things. They have a plethora of interests that could fall into multiple different career paths, but they just don't like being put into that box. And I relate to that so much about Eve. And the discussion she had with her family that made me just so frustrated for her because I understand where she's coming from wholeheartedly. And Jacob and Eve's dynamic together does make me laugh. He does make me mad a little bit, but I completely understand where he's coming from. Yeah, we're moving this reading vlog inside because those tiny little gnats can fight me. Like, they just buzz right by my ear purposefully to harass me. So we're gonna read indoors. Okay, now that this vlog is over, let's discuss. I had a really good time. I did. I had a really good time. Especially with Danny and Eve. There was a lot about Danny and Eve's books that I really related to in regards of Eve and how she's really questioning what her place is in life, especially career-wise. I feel like I relate to her a lot in that regard, and also her learning more about autism, and she starts to really question if like being on the spectrum is something that would also apply to her, which I feel like happens for like a lot of people, especially in the past recent years of being on social media, and a lot of talk about neurodivergency and mental health is coming up more and more, and people all over are interacting with other people who have already been diagnosed with autism or have other aspects of them that would be considered autistic traits or neurodivergent traits. And people are starting to have more open discussions about neurodivergency. These are the same questions that I would ask myself. Just scrolling through social media and just public perception of watching other people talk about their lived experiences and then being like, huh, I do that sometimes. Oh, I do that sometimes. Maybe I should talk to someone, you know? I adored Danny's book. I love Danny. I love Danny and I love Eve. It's just, I just also just really love grumpy sunshine trope. Like, it'll hit for me every time. Just, grumpy men in books are my favorite because they're really just quiet and they observe. They don't talk a lot. And that's all you really need, actually. Also, that he's just a little hopeless romantic and he's grumpy. Sign me up. I want a Zaf, please. Can I have one? I want my own. The Danny and Zaf were hilarious. I thought Eve was hilarious. I think my favorite out of the three of these, I would not be able to pick between Danny and Eve. This isn't to say that I hate Chloe, because I don't hate Chloe. I understand where Chloe's coming from. Chloe was like a bit much, but I definitely understand where she's coming from. I guess sometimes in my perspective when it came to reading about Chloe, it seemed like obviously she has so many, she's dealing with so many things in her daily life that it just internalizes and she just takes it out on other people. And that's not like my favorite things when it comes to characters, but all characters have flaws. All characters need flaws, you know? And that's her little flaw. Just the projection of frustration in the wrong places. That's all. But these two are definitely top Talia Hibbert books. And now I definitely want to delve more into Talia Hibbert's writing. I do know this YA book that Talia Hibbert wrote that I can't wait to read. I can't wait to read. If you have any other book suggestions of any books that I've missed in the past 5 years that I have not read or you think I haven't read yet, leave them in the comments. I'll most likely do a reading vlog of it. I would love to take suggestions, especially if they're diverse suggestions. I will definitely take those. And if you enjoyed this little vlog, like the video, subscribe, click all the buttons, do all the fun stuff. Follow me on all my other social medias, and we'll see you in the next reading vlog. I might read the rest of these A.E. Valdez books that I bought that I just never touched. Don't tell A.E. Valdez that, though. Don't tell her. Okay? Please don't tell her. Bye!